Hello, and thank you for pressing that little play button right in the middle to watch this video and this introduction to eXp Realty. My name is Jeff Rubenstein, and I could not be more excited to do this month's video for you. It's September. We're right in the process of change going into the fall, which is my favorite time of the year. But here nor there, it's all about change, and there's a lot of things going on out there. Technology's changing the way that we as consumers do business, and especially as real estate professionals. And I am going to take about the next 20 minutes to go through eXp Realty and show you why so many agents, teams, and brokers are moving to eXp. So I'm going to say bye. I'm going to get my face out of here, which I can move all around. Oh, hey. Sorry if that made anybody dizzy, but I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to jump right into the material because I know that's mostly what you want to hear about. So as I mentioned to you before, technology has changed the way that business is conducted, whether we're talking about real estate professionals or us as consumers. We all know that the way that we buy products and goods and get services has changed dramatically in the last 10 years. And we're going to show you here how eXp Realty has also adopted a technological model that's allowed us to do things that the real estate brokerage industry has never seen before. There's no more franchises with eXp Realty. We're an agent-owned, cloud-based revenue sharing. And as I mentioned to you before, my name's Jeff Rubenstein. A little bit of history about myself. I've been licensed since 2004, sold over 350 homes, joined eXp in March of 2018 after spending the last 14 years with 5 different brokerages and 7 different franchises. So I've definitely experienced the traditional real estate brokerage model on many different levels through many different companies, from the big box brands all the way down to the smaller local startups. I've been a single agent. I've been on a team. I've had my own team. And I actually was directing one of Keller Williams Realty's top expansion teams that had crossed over about 13 states and done over 500 transactions year over year over year. I've also spent some time as a productivity coach, a sales trainer, and mentor for Van Ed, which is an online education platform for agents who are thinking about getting their real estate license. So let's see, there's a little box here. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but I'm going to go ahead and move that just in case. All right, so now as you're sitting in front of your computer or your mobile device and you're listening to this presentation, you may not know much about eXp. So I'm going to go over exactly who we are. You might not know anything about our business model, except for some of the things that you may have heard out there, which may or may not be true. So I'm going to go through our business model there, and then I'm going to show you the eXp world. This is this cloud-based campus that allows us to save on a tremendous amount of costs with the traditional brick and mortar franchises. And then we're going to go over the eXp solutions, which is all of the tools and resources that every agent with eXp gets, and how to utilize a lot of those things, of course, in the business. And then I'll talk about a little bit more about joining eXp, what that process is all about, what the costs are associated with it, and so forth. So as I go through this, you're going to start to see how the company has really capitalized on technology to change the traditional real estate brokerage model, which has been around for over 100 years. And you'll see the unlimited potential in this opportunity, and naturally you'll understand why so many agents and teams and brokerages are joining eXp. So let's just jump right into it. Who are we? Well, you know what? Every ship rises and falls with the tide, and Glenn Sanford is the CEO. He is an amazing individual that has some technological background, has some stock broker background, and also has some real estate background. Glenn was actually one of the top teams with Keller Williams Realty, was able to grow his team to a high level in just a couple of short years. And, he started to see that there were some things in the industry that could benefit the agent to a higher level. And once he established that, he knew that we were going to have to move towards a technologically based model in order to give back to the agents. And as I go through this presentation, you'll start to see where some of these things have been adapted into this model that are definitely positive for the agents here. So Glenn's really the visionary. He's the brainchild of eXp Realty. In 2009, he saw that there was a problem emerging in businesses and mostly with big companies, and that was the expenses and those redundant staffing costs from building to building to building. And because Glenn's such a techie guy, he thought to himself, what if I build the Amazon of real estate, or the Uber or the Netflix or Airbnb of real estate here, and see how this shakes out with a collaborative nature and everyone working together here. So this is the founder. It's Glenn. It's CEO. The funny thing is, I met him back in 2011 at a tech conference in Denver, and he had a little booth in the back. I don't even think it was a booth. I think it was a table with a tablecloth on it with something eXp on there, and it said cloud-based real estate, and I overlooked it, as I'm sure so many of us did. But now there's an opportunity that none of us can overlook. So here's a timeline of exactly what's been going on with the company. As I mentioned, Glenn launched in 2009. In 2012, there was a big turning point where Glenn was recognized as one of the top 100 influential people in real estate. And we all know, any of us who have been in the business for a while, that in 2012, after the downturn, things really started to pick up in a lot of different markets. And there was some great opportunity with people getting in the business and interest rates being significantly low, that the market was really hot for real estate. So there was a lot of excitement around real estate. And then in 2000, eXp World Holdings became a publicly traded company. So this is when eXp World Holdings went on the the New York Stock Exchange, and then just a short year later expanded into Canada. 2015, eXp launched the equity program, which I'm going to get into here in a bit, as well as the Icon Agent program. So if you're a high producer and you're listening to this video right now and watching, definitely stay for the whole time, but definitely stay while I go over what the Icon Agent Award program is. It's gonna blow your mind. And then we've just seen tremendous growth from the 3 years continuing from 2015. I mean, just 2 years ago, we tripled in agent count in 1 year, and then past 10,000 agents. I know now we're over 14,000 agents. And then here just in May, eXp went on the NASDAQ stock exchange as well. So this stock is readily available not only to eXp agents as owners of the company, but also to the general public, being that it is a publicly traded stock. This is one of the things that continues to blow my mind every time I look at this particular graph. And it's just the explosive growth that we've seen with the company year over year, and especially starting in 2016 and into 2017 with that tripling, of course. Just a year and a half ago, we were at 1,400 agents. And the stock was trading at 83 cents a share. And I'm going to get into where a lot of that pans out as far as where the stock is here in just a minute. But you can see here just the growth speaks for itself. And when you see growth like this in any type of company, any type of technology, I think it's worth at least diving in a little bit further to see, well, what is it and why is there such tremendous growth? A lot of that growth is based on the core values. Every company really starts with values and a culture that shapes the business or an organization, and it's really about the way in which a company operates and how the company goes about making decisions that benefit the company, and in this case, benefit the agent owners. And with such a rapidly growing company as eXp, it's so crucial that in order to obtain longevity and to continue to build, that there is a strong foundation behind it. And you can see here with our core values, I'm sure there's something here that resonates with you, something that you can really sink your teeth into. And each month eXp chooses a core value to focus on, and the company shares all kinds of stories and photos, videos, anything that the agents, employees, and leadership can think about that relates to the particular core value of the month. And it's really neat because one of them is collaboration. And being that this is something we do every month, it really creates an additional layer of the collaboration that has so uniquely shaped this company, being that we are a cloud-based business. So, the natural and collaborative nature of how this company was built is really upon these foundational values, and it resonates from the top down. I've seen it in the short 6 months that I've been with the company, and it's just been an amazing experience. So let's just jump right into the business model, because I know this is what most of you want to learn about here. I'm just going to grab a quick drink of water. And this is, of course, all recorded. If you are watching this live, you'll be able to watch this on YouTube anytime it is convenient for you. So let's talk about some innovation. I think we can all agree technology is changing the way that we, as consumers, as real estate professionals, conduct our daily business. And it's important that we understand what these changes are and when they come along, so that we can adapt to be able to better our businesses and to better our lives. So you can see here, everybody's familiar with all of these companies on there and how there's been a transition, especially from Blockbuster to Netflix, or, Circuit City to Amazon. You could add about another 150 to 200 companies and industries on there that Amazon has really taken over the way that those particular industries are either going to have to adapt, or they're not going to be in business, as small as it is. Did you know that in the last year or year and a half, it may be, that Macy's, JCPenney, and Sears closed over 250 stores? So those brick and mortar locations are all gone. Real estate's been the same way for over 100 years, as I mentioned before, with the traditional brick and mortar brokerage model, with franchises involved and so forth. And now eXp's along, where there's none of that anymore. So I think we all have to really look at this and question what is out there, what is this opportunity, and continue to listen in here, because we have some really cool stuff that we're going to share about how we are one brokerage. So for those of you who are maybe with a box brand, there's every franchise is another brokerage. And in order to expand and potentially go over state lines, as so many big teams have done, there's a whole nother brokerage involved, which means a whole nother split, which means more expenses, more desk fees, less collaboration, less referrals. Expensive franchises, they can't provide the growth incentives and ownership in the company like eXp can, and how eXp does in the form of revenue share and stock. And these brick and mortars can't provide the same level of technology and support to the agents, because it's so costly versus the cloud-based technology. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. All I'm saying is that now there's a new model out there. There's a new one brokerage model that allows for agents to keep more money in their pocket, to have live training, real-time support, international collaboration, and then, of course, being able to have some equity in the company and profit from the company being profitable. Once the company continues to bring in more revenue, the agents are able to share in that revenue as well. So it's not a franchise. There's no more franchises anymore. The cloud campus, I've talked about that a little bit. There's no more buildings to pay for. So naturally, there's no more desk fees. Of course, you can work from anywhere that you have an internet connection, and being able to save on all this brick and mortar costs means that the company is able to reinvest this money back into the technology, back into the training, back into the systems and tools that allow the agents to continue to build their businesses. Paperless transactions are all through the cloud, and of course the training and support, which I'll get into some of the live training and support that's truly shaped the way that business is being done now. Real-time support, on-demand support services. We have live bodies, live people inside the eXp world from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time during the week. And they are actually able to help us with every single thing that you could imagine, from tech services to checking in on a particular transaction, to checking in on a particular system and getting some help with setting particular things up. There's also transaction specialists. that are state specific that can answer transaction questions along the way. International collaboration. Here's the cool thing. We're all in one place. So if you really want to call it an office, if you wanted to, since we are on the cloud office is open to anyone, anywhere in the world with eXp. And actually, I have a link that I'm going to share with you as well, that you can also go into the cloud and experience this work environment. Really cool from the standpoint of one cap across state lines. So if you're thinking about building a team and you want to expand across state lines, there's only one nationwide cap. So you're not paying a cap in each additional brokerage, even if it's within the same state. And being that we have such a wide network that we're able to communicate with and collaborate with easily, it's a huge referral network, and we're able to share best practices amongst one another and be able to get input and information from agents, leadership, staff from all over the world. All right, let's talk about the equity opportunities. This is where the rubber meets the road as far as how the company is giving back to the agents for us continuing to help build the company through our sales production and growing our agent base. It's pretty simple. We're going to throw it out there. It's very obvious. Equity awards, you can earn shares on your first transaction. You earn shares in the company when you fully cap. You earn shares when an agent that you sponsor comes in and they close their first transaction. So, you know, from building a company and from recruiting and retention standpoint, if you are a broker that's looking to build a brokerage, these are some of the things that you can't offer. And there's a big challenge in the brokerage industry, and that's agent recruiting and retention. And being able to offer shares of stock to agents, it creates an environment where agents want to stay. Agents want to help continue to build the company, not to mention the fact that this creates an exit strategy as the number of stocks continue to build as agents are continuing to build the company. So those are the equity awards there. The Icon Agent Award Program, I mentioned this to you. If you're a top producer, you're going to love this. You can get up to $16,000 in stock once you are capped, which I'll tell you right now, the cap is $16,000. I'm going to get into that in a few minutes on what all of the costs are, the cap structure, and so forth. So stay tuned, because basically you as a top producing agent, the company is going to pay you to be with eXp Realty. That's right. You're actually going to make money by being with eXp Realty. And I'll get into that in just a minute. The agent equity program, super cool. You can elect to have 3, 4, or 5% of each of your closing commissions going towards buying stock at a 20% discount for what it closes out on that particular trading day. So you're able to take some of your pre-taxed commission dollars and buy stock in the company at a 20% discount. What other company offers that? There are no other companies that offer that, because nobody has any ownership stock in any of these other companies. Let's get into the AAC. I'm going to grab another quick sip of water. Thanks for listening so far. Hopefully by now some things are resonating with you and you're starting to see the unlimited potential and how I'm not going to call it a new company, because eXp has been around since 2009, but a blossoming company in the last 3 years, and why so many agents, teams, and brokers are moving over. And I appreciate you being here and listening and watching. So agent voice in the company, this is the AAC. This is the collaborative nature of how ownership and agents communicate. I can tell you, just in the short 6 months that I've been with the company since March of 2018, I've asked for things. I've seen some things. I've wanted to see some improvements in some systems or some additions of this, that, or the other thing. And it's just been amazing to see the trickle-down effect on that, on how leadership and the agents are able to collaborate and communicate at a super high level, and how things are actually getting done. So super fun there. This is the AAC, and It's very similar to an ALC or an Agent Leadership Council, which some of you may have seen in another company or other companies. Single agent revenue share. Hang on one second. I actually have a pork in the oven. I have to get up and turn this off. That is too funny. I'm so sorry about that. I literally do have something. But hey, that's some of the advantages to being able to work at home is to do things like this and also be able to cook dinner as the family's going to be here pretty soon. All right, so let's talk about single agent revenue share. Once you bring an agent into the company, you can earn up to 3.5% of the gross commission. So this is residual income that we're able to create. I like to call this generational wealth. We are creating long-term income by attracting other agents to the company. So, for example, let's say an agent sells a $400,000 house. That's a $12,000 commission. 3.5% off of that is what? Approximately 30, about 400, let's say $450. I probably should have done the math up front, but that's fine. And that comes from the company dollars. This does not affect the agent. It doesn't reduce the agent's commission. It comes directly. And that caps out at $2,800. So if you were to bring in 2 capping agents, that would be $5,600. So this is a controllable business model based on the production of the agents that are coming in. This is not based off of profit in a franchise. This is based off of the actual revenue created by a particular agent's sales. If you happen to be the agent who brought that agent over to the company, you're going to be paid 3.5% of the gross commission from each one of their closings up until they've paid or you've received $2,800 from the company as a result of that particular agent's sales. We also have the cascading revenue share. So the way that this works is that this is where eXp agents can maximize the residual income by helping other agents attracted to the company to do the same thing. And the best part of this revenue share is there's no limit to how much each agent can work. And there's a tier system. It goes down to 7 tiers. I have another video that I can share with you that goes through the specifics on that. But what I can tell you is, and the biggest takeaway from here is to understand that the cascading revenue share and the single agent revenue share is all based upon revenue, not profit. This is not profitability where there are people who own franchises looking to make a profit and are willing to share some of that profit with their agent base. This is one brokerage with the company sharing the revenue, all the money coming in from the agent sales back with the agents with a very standard revenue sharing model. The funny thing is that for anybody who's with Keller Williams that may be listening to this, this is the exact same model that Keller Williams profit share model is based off of, with the holes plugged and getting rid of the brick and mortar and all of those expensive costs associated with running a franchise. So how to unlock that? Every 5 agents that you add on each level adds another tier. So again, there's another video on this. I'm not going to get into the details. I could spend an hour on how this works. Just know that attracting agents to the company, helping these other agents be successful, and even allowing them to move on and grow their own teams and build their own network of agents through their revenue share, everybody gets paid. And the coolest part of all is that it's the company that's paying the agents, not the profitability based on an individual franchise. All right, let's get into the world. I'll go through this real quick. This is, again, the cloud-based technology that we use to operate. This is where we go in and we go to work every day. You know, if you can meet, go for, I'm going to get into it here in a second. Real-time support, all types of departments that you can go to, from tech services to human resources to checking on your revenue share, your stocks, etc. Team collaboration, being able to share information from agent to agent or broker to agent. You can even meet clients in here if you'd like to sit down. Some of them really get a kick out of creating their own avatar and sitting across from you at a table or a desk. Daily training, of course, is all held in the cloud. I'll get into a little more about that. And then all of the main meetings that we have, from leadership meetings, sales meetings for the entire company, are all held in the larger auditoriums. So this is the cloud. This is just a quick example. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to play it because I think it's a bit redundant. It looks like this. It sounds like this. Everything is in a virtual environment where you create your own avatar. Live support from folks, as I mentioned, from wherever you are. All right, what do you get as an eXp agent? So we work off of what's called the eXp Enterprise, and this is very unique to the real estate industry, as everything that the company is doing from the ground up has never been done before. So this is all new. The eXp Enterprise, I like to call it the mothership. It's where everything happens. It's where you can go to access every system, tool, and platform that you need to operate your business. There's no more having to log into 8 different websites to access 8 different things to then be able to use them all at the same time, and so forth. Within the enterprise, there's a number of specific tools. Every eXp agent does get a Google Apps for Business suite, which includes email, Drive, YouTube, Docs, spreadsheets, you name it. It's a full business suite of tools. You also get SkySlope, which is a transaction management system with digital signing. We coordinate and collaborate quite a bit with Workplace by Facebook, where there's a number of groups you can join, from a water cooler chat group all the way to specific groups for scripts and dialogues, lunch and learns, whatever it might be. There's something in there. It's kind of like regular Facebook, but without all of the distractions and stuff that we don't want to see. In addition, every agent gets a choice of CRM and a lead generation platform. Everything from a unique website to a blogging feature, buyer and seller lead accessibility, landing pages, squeeze pages, marketing suite, advertising, as it shows here, branding and marketing with a full customizable suite of tools. I mean, I've tried to find things that they didn't have, and I can't. Everything that you need as an agent is in there. SkySlope, similar to Dotloop, DocuSign. Most of you who are watching this now are real estate agents. You know what that is. I don't need to get into that too much. I know it's very expensive. I didn't realize that it was so expensive, as I've heard some other agents mention. But every eXp agent gets it as part of their membership with eXp. Talked about Workplace by Facebook. Great place to share announcements. Great place to communicate and collaborate with your team members, whether they're local, across country, across the globe, and then of course with the international collaboration with agents all over the place, from the U.S. to Canada, and then another 100 or 204 countries out there that we haven't even tapped into yet. CRM and lead generation, we're using Conversion, which is it's the KV Core, which is a new product for conversion. I'm telling you, it's got everything that you need, from being able to drive traffic from any other sites or your own site to this particular platform, drip campaigns, auto texting, call reminders, email and text templates. Then you can opt in for a lead generation program called Make It Rain, which is for eXp agents only. And what a great system. I've been seeing a ton of leads come in, and I'm the only one getting them as an eXp agent because I signed up early. Marketing and branding, this is where you get everything that you need, from business cards, brochures, yard signs, listing presentations, buyer presentations, door knockers, letter templates, everything that you can imagine, all powered by Breakthrough Broker, and of course all customizable to your business needs. Joining eXp Realty, what does it take? How is it going? Why are so many people joining? Well, we're gaining quite a bit of recognition, and to be called the Amazon of real estate, that, my friends, gets me really excited because we know what Amazon has done. And that was a concept that people thought, yeah, I guess I could shop online maybe over Christmas or what have you. I think we all can admit that that's the way that we shop now. No desk fees, no royalty fees, no franchise fees. Very simple. The commission and cap, it's an 80-20 split. You cap out at $16,000. After that, it's 100% commission during that anniversary year, with the exception of each transaction does have a $250 fee. This is after you've capped. Once you've capped, that can't go past $5,000. So what's that? 20 transactions. Okay. Then after that, it's only $75 a transaction for those that are doing 30 or more transactions a year. Very simple on the standard cost. There's no hidden fees. It's $149 to get started. That gets you access to all of the tools, all of the resources, all of the training, access to the cloud, all of your systems and tools for $149. After that, it's $50 a month for all of the technology, $35 a month for the eXp University fee that keeps up all the training. And then this is where it gets really cool. A $25 broker review per transaction. So that's it. Just $25 to have it reviewed, the compliance, and it's only per transaction. E&O insurance, $40 per transaction. That caps at $50. Or $500, excuse me. So if you're only doing a few transactions a year, you don't have to pay for a full year of insurance. You're only paying per transaction, which if you think about it, makes sense. Why should you be paying insurance when you're not doing a transaction? So very, very standard fees, very much making sense, very inexpensive, extremely beneficial, and a ton of value for such minimal cost. Production matters. Our agents are selling property. Our agents are some of the top producers in the entire industry, and we're starting to see that in the numbers that are coming through from Real Trends, from Power Broker, from Swanepoel Mega 1000, and the numbers just continue to get better. You can look at the numbers here. I'll give you just a second. They're all cool and everything to look at. But what's most important, in my opinion, is the opportunity that this company has presented to the real estate agent. We hear a lot of companies talk about being agent-focused, agent-centric, and so forth. This is truly advantageous to the agent, not only for selling real estate, but for creating that generational wealth that I mentioned earlier, that longer-term income, that exit strategy, which once you've gone past selling properties, and this isn't an opportunity to sit back and wait like, a dinner party that you're going to, and it's cool to be 30, 45 minutes late. This is where you want to get to the cocktail party early and start helping people set up and be part of this thing from the ground up. This is how a lot of other companies have been built. This is how eXp is building. This is one of the reasons why the company has grown so fast and why so many agents, brokers, and teams are coming over. So I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. If you'd like some more information, please go back to whoever it was that invited you to watch this video. If that happened to be me, all the information's down below, whether you're getting this by email, whether it's in YouTube, or what have you. You'll certainly be able to reach back out to me or, again, whoever referred you over to this video. Thanks again for watching, and I wish you all the best. Have a great one.